All right, let's talk about AI. It's not some far-off sci-fi thing anymore, is it? Nope, it's the mountain that every single one of us is climbing right now. And it doesn't matter if you're a tiny startup or a huge corporation, you need a plan for this climb. So let's start mapping out that trail together. And believe me, this climb is urgent. Just look at this number. A report from the World Economic Forum dropped a pretty sobering statistic. Get this. By 2030, 41%, that's almost half, of employers plan to actually reduce their workforce because of AI. That is a huge, huge number, and it just goes to show you we're talking about a massive shift in how we all work.
But hold on. It's not all doom and gloom. Not at all. Like any big climb, right? The view from the summit is incredible. And this slide, it lays out that tension perfectly. On one side, you've got these amazing opportunities, huge productivity gains, better customer experiences, you name it. But on the other side, well, there are some very real dangers. We're talking data misuse, system failures, real commercial damage. And here's the key takeaway. You just can't get to those rewards without being smart about navigating the risks.
Okay, so that brings us right into the new AI landscape. And let's be super clear about this. Understanding this terrain, it's not just a job for the IT department anymore. Nope. This is a critical governance issue for every single person in a leadership role. And here's the thing. A lot of businesses are starting this climb completely unprepared. I mean, this quote from the Australian Institute of Company Directors really says it all. A ton of leaders don't even know how or where AI is already being used inside their own companies. It's literally like trying to climb a mountain blindfolded. And what's happening is this is creating a massive gap. Just look at this. It's so clear, right? The big companies, they're already way up the mountain. They're using AI for everything from deep data dives to managing customers. But meanwhile, a lot of small and medium-sized businesses, well, they're still stuck at base camp, just trying to figure out what gear they even need to pack. Now, here's a risk that could be happening inside your business right now. They call it shadow AI. So what is it? It's basically when your employees are using tools, like ChatGPT, for their work, but without any official sign-off or oversight. It might seem totally harmless, right? But it can open up a huge can of worms. We're talking major privacy breaches and confidentiality risks. It's kind of like your team is going off trail, taking these really dangerous, uncharted shortcuts up the mountain.
So, how in the world do you manage all this? Well, you need a playbook. And when you hear the term AI governance, don't think of it as a bunch of restrictive red tape. No way. Think of it as your map and your compass, the essential tools that are going to guide you safely all the way to the top.
See, a good governance plan doesn't stop you from climbing. It just makes sure the climb is strategic, not reckless. What it does is create a safe space for your team to get creative, to innovate, to experiment. So you can actually go out and grab all those incredible opportunities we were just talking about. And the good news is we don't have to invent this map from scratch. Thankfully, the Australian Institute of Company Directors has already laid out a fantastic framework. It has 8 essential elements to guide us. So let's break it down. All right, so the first 4 things here, these are your foundations. This is the essential gear you need to pack before you even start the climb. We're talking about figuring out roles and responsibilities, like who's in charge of what, setting up your governance structures, making sure you have the right people, skills, and culture in place, and of course, defining your core principles, policies, and strategy. Okay, so once you've got that foundation locked in, the next 4 elements are all about putting that governance into action. This is the climb itself, right? It's about having clear practices, processes, and controls. It's building the right supporting infrastructure. It's talking to your stakeholders to see how this impacts them. And critically, it's constantly monitoring, reporting, and evaluating everything to make sure you're staying on the right path. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. That all sounds great, but it's a bit high level, right? What about the reality for, say, a small business owner who just feels like they're staring up at this impossibly tall mountain? Well, you're right. So let's bring this down from the 30,000-foot view and get right to the trailhead. So, the big question is, where do you even start? I mean, it can feel pretty overwhelming, but that's the most important question. And honestly, the answer is probably a lot simpler than you think. Here it is, a simple 5-step path to get you going. First, identify your biggest pain points. What are the things that drive you crazy every day? Second, start small. Just pick one simple, low-risk tool to try out. Third, invest in training. Make sure your team knows how to use it. Fourth, test and measure. Is it actually helping? And then, And only then, when you're confident, you scale up. See? It makes the whole climb manageable, just one step at a time. So what do these simple tools even look like? Well, here are a few fantastic, really accessible examples. You could use an AI chatbot like Tidio to handle a ton of your customer service automatically. Or something like Canva's Magic Write to help you generate all your social media posts. And Calendly? Man, that just gets rid of all that back and forth scheduling nonsense. The point is, these aren't some super complex, expensive systems. They're affordable tools that solve real everyday business problems.
And these simple tools, they get real, tangible results. I mean, check this out. These are from actual small businesses. A wellness clinic cut its patient no-show rate from 30% all the way down to 8%. An online pet store saved 15 hours a week, every single week, on customer service. Another e-commerce store boosted its product freshness by 40% with smart inventory. It just proves you don't need a massive budget to see a massive impact.
All right, so let's zoom back out for a second and look at the bigger picture. What does all of this mean for the future of work? What does it mean for our teams? Remember that number we started with, 41%? That's the percentage of employers who expect to reduce their workforce because of AI. Look, it's a scary number, and it's very real. But, and this is a really big but, it's not the whole story. Because get this, 77% of those exact same employers are also committed to reskilling their people. So the key here isn't just about job loss, it's about job transformation.
Yeah, and this quote from the World Economic Forum just drives that point home. It says that nearly 40% of our current skills will be outdated or totally reshaped in just the next 5 years. The future really belongs to the people who can adapt, who keep learning, who embrace these new tools. The trail is changing under our feet, and we all have to learn how to navigate this new terrain.
So let's just bust the biggest myth out there right now. The big fear is that AI is coming to replace your staff. But the reality is that AI is here to support your team. It's a tool that's designed to automate all those boring, repetitive tasks, which frees up your people to focus on the high-value stuff, the strategy, the creativity, the human connection, the things that we humans actually do best.
Ultimately, what this all comes down to is a shift in how we think about this. AI isn't just another piece of technology. It's not just software. When you approach it with a smart strategy, with a good plan, it becomes this incredible strategic partner. A partner that can save you time, help you make better decisions, and keep you competitive. So look, AI is here. It's not a choice anymore. It's just a reality of doing business. So the only real question left to answer is the one right here on this slide. Is AI going to be your competitor, the thing that leaves you behind in the dust? Or is it going to be your co-pilot, the tool that helps you navigate this climb and reach incredible new heights? That choice is yours.